All right, let's just conclude our broadcast here on the ANC's 106th birthday anniversary taking place in East London tomorrow. We say good morning once again to our reporter, Aldrin Sampear, who is in East London for us. Aldrin, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Palisa. We continue with our coverage in the build-up towards the ANC's January 8th statement celebration that will be taking place tomorrow right here at this venue that I'm currently at. To tell you that the stage is currently being set up. I see that there's an overflow area as well. Thousands of ANC members coming from across the country will be converging here to celebrate, firstly, also, I guess, the election of the new NEC members as well as the top officials of the ANC, but also the 106th anniversary of the longest political party that has been on this continent now, surviving for the longest compared to any other political party, and a struggle party here on the continent. Right now I'm joined by the chairperson of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, just quickly speaking about preparations heading into the January 8th statement celebrations. But let's first start with the visits to the various presidents, the former presidents of the ANC. Yesterday also visited the homestead of former president, the late Nelson Mandela.
Yes, thanks very much. Good morning, Adrian, to you and the viewers at home. That program has been going very well. We've been really reconnecting to the roots and reconnecting to our people, basically invigorating their spirits to definitely rejuvenate us who are still here, for us to be able to propel the African National Congress to a higher pedestal. So it has been quite exciting experience indeed when you get to the ground, have ordinary people saying, getting such kind of a feedback, the understanding, a very phenomenal understanding about issues and the current affairs in the country, issues of the economy, traditional leaders telling us, telling the president that indeed they might be a peripheral to the center, but they are the center of the periphery. What happens up there, it affects them directly to the ground. Even if you talk about the rand, those rands and cents that make up our economy, they are of quite significance to them, and whoever gets elected must rise to the occasion, and people must make it a point that you don't just play with the responsibility you have, because many South Africans, millions of them, we are carrying their aspirations on our shoulders, and ANC is expected to take them to a promised land.
But quite evidently, one noticed then that you're not visiting the living presidents of the homesteads of the living presidents of the ANC. Jacob Zuma is still there, Thabo Mbeki is still there. And one would imagine that these two figures have a crucial role to play within the party in ensuring that they live up to the hopes, so that the party lives up to the hopes and aspirations that many have placed on their shoulders.
Including the current president. Yeah. We didn't visit his home. Well, we have a long year program which is intended to make it a point that we touch base, we crisscross the country, we move length and breadth, and get into all those significant areas of national interest. So our priority now was to target those deceased leaders, but definitely we are not ruling out any possibility of getting into those, because those villages and those villagers would like to interact and would like to feel that they are also appreciated, having developed. Remember, it takes a community to mold and develop a child. For you to have a child who becomes a president, it's not about that particular family, it is about the entire community. So getting into that space and appreciating our people is something that we intend to do the whole year in celebrating the life and times of Madiba. We'll be able to do that.
Let's quickly speak about the post-conference. Post the ANC's elective conference, of course, there's been a grueling campaigning that has been taking place. It's divided this province as well. What's the plans for this province henceforth to ensure that there's unity beyond the ANC's elective conference, beyond the January 8th statement that will be delivered tomorrow?
There will be no unity if our people are stranded, if our people continue being destitute, if we continue performing badly as a province in contributing to the overall GDP of the country. We must make our people not to leave province to go to Johannesburg and Cape Town. We must make our people to have access to their opportunities here, develop the province, make the province to be what it could possibly be. We are endowed here with a lot of natural resources. If you talk about oceans, economy, you talk about us. We are actually having, out of 2,000-kilometer stretch in South Africa of the coastal stretch, we've got about 800 of that from the province. If you talk about 1 million audited, 1 million hectares audited arable land here in South Africa, 300,000 of that arable land is here in the province. Therefore, this means this province can be a food basket of our country. It can be a food basket of our region, so to speak, the SADC, etc., etc. We must focus. We must know. We must put money where it is needed most. We must invest in the infrastructure. We must continue with the work that has been started already by the current administration and government, shifting since 2009, shifting from contractual fiscal arrangement into expansionary one, focusing on that. Because if you invest in that space of infrastructure development, we are actually igniting the economic development opportunities, and you are able to actually talk directly to our developmental path as a developmental state. So you are looking at those opportunities to advance and change the people's lives. And if you do that, you will be exactly on the footsteps of what we are talking about when we are pursuing the national democratic revolution.
But of course, that's not possible if the province is not united at a political level. And that's the question that I'm asking, that how do you ensure that this province is united at a political level, that those who may not be suffering from what some call sour grapes post the ANC's elective conference are brought back into the fold of the ANC in the province, and ensuring that you live up to these aspirations and ensure that these issues that you have raised are fulfilled?
If the ANC would have entertained individuals for self-aggrandizement, it would have not achieved 106 years. ANC has never been about individuals. It has never been those who are disgruntled and those who are happy. But those who are elected in a conference have got a responsibility to actually create conducive environment for every member of the ANC to feel at home. We are exactly doing that. We are actually making it a point that people are back into the ANC. You are actually in the ANC free. You've got rights and duties from our constitution to choose what side, what perspective do you want to support going to the conference, part of the lobby groups. Post-conference, we have got leadership elected, all disciplined, all revolutionaries, all members of the ANC understand that. You can't have a hangover. We don't have anything called a revolutionary hangover, where you are stuck with your views pre-conference. It tells that that was about you. It was not about the revolution we have here. We are having a national democratic revolution for our people, not for us as individuals. So the issue of the unity is a responsibility of all of us, those who led before and those who are currently leading, those who are deployed in government. They must work together. We must come closer to each other and be focused on what we are expected to do for the sake of our people. And if it's not done, ANC is going to take decision. We are not going to entertain individuals who are not prepared to take ANC forward. ANC must move forward. ANC must achieve and deliver the national democratic society. If you are a stumbling block there, why do we entertain individuals at the expense of our revolution? We are not going to do that. The ANC is about changing people's lives. We are all here to serve. ANC is about servitude. If you are prepared to be a member of the ANC, you must be prepared to put yourself secondary and put our people primary.
Another hurdle, just in conclusion, another hurdle to the ANC's unity that you speak of is this current debate that has been raging on whether President Jacob Zuma must be recalled as the president of the country or not recalled as the president of the country. Pre the conference, you held the view that the president must finish his term up until 2019. How do you think the party should deal with this matter now going forward?
ANC has deployed President Zuma until 2019. So far it ends there. Same ANC, if needs be, is going to engage on the matter, is going to discuss, obviously informed by the material condition. We are not just to jump into that for the sake of entertaining us as individuals, etc. It's about African National Congress. All of us who are members of the ANC. He is now a president of the country, also a deployee of the African National Congress. ANC will have to get into that space quite responsible and handle it in a manner that also seeks to unite and stabilize the African National Congress moving forward.
Mm-hmm. What role do you think President Jacob Zuma, could play in the ANC right now?
All the presidents, former president of the ANC, are ex-officio members. Even in the NSC, he has got a role to play. He's now a veteran. He will be definitely getting into that space. He can do a lot of contribution. Political education actually is very excellent on that one. He's one of those few presidents of the ANC that we have ever had that have served in 4 positions in the top 6. He has been a national chair. He has been a deputy secretary general. He has been a deputy president. He has been a president. If you talk about experience, you can't look elsewhere. You do have that experience with him. We need just to have him in the ANC family, protected by the ANC, feeling comfortable in the ANC, so that we kill all these other issues of kingmaker syndromes, people who think that they can protect the president better than other people. He is a member of the ANC. He is a leader of the ANC. The ANC will protect him. ANC will definitely make it a point that we move forward in a very smooth, in a very developmental way, so that we don't disrupt the revolution of our people.
Well, thank you so much. They have from the chairperson of the ANC in the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuya, and touching on various of issues, and of course this contentious issues, and this one of those issues being the future of President Jacob Zuma at the highest office in the land. What happens now? The debate has been ongoing, but of course the focus of this event is the NEC statement, which is the January 8th statement, which will be delivered by the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa. And actually, Cyril Ramaphosa later on this morning will be teeing off at a golf course, and then later on will be continuing with his mobilization campaign ahead of tomorrow's activities here at the Absa Stadium. And one of those mobilization campaigns will be happening at the Duncan Village, as well as the ANC top officials, including the Treasurer General, who will be visiting the home of former ANC leader, the late Ndate Stofile, as well, to make sure that they mobilize people who will be coming in their numbers to Absa Stadium tomorrow, and when Cyril Ramaphosa will be delivering his speech around about 11 o'clock. It's back to you in studio.